Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to trigger a lambda function at a specific time using Jitter. Jitter is an app that we built that lets you receive a webhook event at your server. All you have to do is give us a timestamp on when you want to receive that event, and we'll do our best to send you that event at that timestamp. So I have an example here where you have appointments in your app, and you need to pay out those appointments to that user 3 days after they happen. So when that event happens, you can send that event to Jitter, and then in 3 days, we'll handle all the scheduling, the queuing, and whatnot, and we'll send it back to you, and all you have to do is just process that event and pay out that user. You don't have to set up any cron jobs. You don't have to keep polling your database. It's all very simple. We also have a SDK for this, for Node, so it's on NPM at jitter/node if you want to use that. And I also have an example project, which will be in the description if you want to follow along with this demo/tutorial/example. It's using the AWS CDK. So if you look here, we're just declaring a lambda function, and we're going to add a function URL to that lambda function so it can be triggered just by going to it. And I'm going to deploy this using CDK deploy. This is going to ask me to give the URL permission to trigger the lambda function. So of course we want that to happen. I'm going to type in yes. And this is going to take a few minutes to deploy. The code of the lambda function is not really important. It's just logging the event when it comes in and returning a 200. So while this deploys, you probably want to get your API key for Jitter so you can actually send the events. So you're going to want to go to jitter.dev. You're going to want to click sign up, and it's going to ask you to log in with GitHub. So when I click here, it's just going to take me directly to my dashboard because I'm already logged in. You're going to want to create an org by clicking the orange button and just type in whatever you want. I already have an org here, so I'm just going to use this org. I'm going to use the API key for this org already. And if you're following along with the example project in index.ts, everything's already set up for you. You just need to replace the variables here. So this one for the API key, I need to change that so you guys don't use my API key in the future. You also can provide a signing secret as shown in the dashboard, which will be here. You don't have to for this scenario because we're not going to be verifying that the event came from Jitter, but if you do want to verify that the event came from Jitter, we give you this option. We sign the payload with this secret that's unique to your organization. So again, for this scenario, not important. So here we have the payload from the example earlier. We're using the day.js library to easily add 10 seconds in the future to our date, and then have Jitter send us that event back in 10 seconds to our URL, which should be here now that this deployed. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go to it just to make sure everything's working. This should say hello world once it loads. There it is. So our function is working fine. I'm going to paste this URL here. This is the SDK at work. It's all type safe. Jitter.events.createEvent. You paste in your URL, you put in your payload, and then to run this example, you run npx ts-node index.ts event sent. And then if we go to our CloudWatch logs in about 10 seconds, you'll see that the event was sent and we triggered our lambda function whenever we want. Essentially, if you want to send a welcome email to a user, we can do that. 1412, that doesn't look like it's correct. However, this will be our log group because this is how lambda functions work. They bundle our logs. Here it is. Incoming event. There's our payload, our stringified payload. So in your app, you would just want to JSON parse the body from the event and do whatever you want. Here I have the diagram again. If the appointment.payout is in the action, then you want to pay out that user or whatever you want, or send email. The possibilities are truly endless. So if you have any questions, please leave them down below. I'll be happy to answer any that you might have. And again, the project is in the description if you want to copy what I'm doing. See ya.